Friday Night Lights. Oh my God. My God. Let's see who's tuning in. Got to make sure my chat is on standby. Right? How's the sound? How's the spelling? Nah, I'm starting to, I sound like Star reporting right now. I sound like Star. Man. I already dropped some videos today though. So it is what it is. I'm not going to do a 4-hour stream like I did last time. I'm going to give it a couple more. Give it a couple more minutes. You know, a lot of smart asses in my comments. In my comment section. When you're talking about single moms, you're talking about widows? No, a widow is not a single mother. Those are two completely different things. Man, these people here, though. Anyway. Give it one. I'll give it until the 3-minute mark. Or maybe the 5-minute mark. Either way. This mic's been bothering me, bro. Man. See if I get one more person to tune in before the 5-minute mark. If one more person tunes in, then Pyro, what's up, Pyro, man? Yeah, he said, but they are still single, but nah, man. And it's what's crazy is, it's. I will say this, Pyro, you need to be. We're done. I'm gonna say this, as Americans, we're done, and I'm gonna tell you why. I dropped on my Instagram. I had these people at me, and I'm thinking it's the womanists, right? I'm thinking it's girls. No, it's 13-year-old, 14-year-old boys that are already womanists. They're 13, 14 years old. I'm like, how do you? I'm like, they was arguing with me, and I'm thinking, I was taking it easy because I'm thinking these are just middle school, high school girls. They don't know none. It's boy. I was like, these are boys. I'm like, these are boys. The boys are already like in middle school, and they're already womanists. I'm like, so they didn't get that from. They didn't even get that from home. They got that from school. They're getting groomed by these weirdo teachers. By the way, all teachers are thoughts. I want you to check that series out. They're getting, I don't know, where should I put this monitor? I don't know where I should put my phone to read the chats, but hey, yeah, it's the parents, it's the single moms, it's their aunties, you know, doing that stuff. But I'm like, how do you, like, they're literally saying stuff that I used to hear, like the womanists would say in college, whatever. When I would see the arguments in college, I'd be like, what are they talking about? That's what the track, and you know, hold on for a sec. I'm good on my end. But what I don't know what happened. I assume, man, this is why I didn't really want to do this stream, because every time I start going political, something happens to my stream. So bear with me on this one. But what the trads don't understand, this is what you're gonna have to deal with. And these are the ladies that you're telling the young men to marry. And it's impossible. You can't. First of all, the dudes coming up, they're already done. You can't do anything with them. Yeah, I already know. Like, yeah, Pyro, like, this has happened before. Like, the live streams where I just keep it. Like, the last stream that I did, zero problems. All all I did was I spoke on the male imps and single mothers. 4 hours. I didn't even realize 4 hours went by. Yeah, the code words, I don't know. I don't know. I don't even think I can mention certain names on here. That's why with this specific stream, I don't know if I can. I don't know. But anyway, how about this? For this one, I will make sure before I get into the main subject, I'm gonna show you the stuff that I'll be saving on my Instagram that be helping me for some of these shows. I'm gonna show you some things. You know what I mean? Make sure we're all good here, because the last stream was fine, and I went for 4 hours. Then I remember one other live stream I did. I just stuck to the topic of body count, no problems. And then I remember the stream before that, I put the same title. All of a sudden, my screen is going black. I'm just like, what in the hell is going on? So let's hit up some subject. Let's hit up a subject before we even get into this, because I want to talk about, before I get into anything, I want to talk about Travis. I want to talk about Travis Kelce and his ex. I wanted to hit on that real quick. I wanted to hit on that. That was funny. As soon as I cannot believe Inside Edition decided to run with that story. That is so messy. I mean, clearly somebody in the higher ups of Inside Edition has it out for the Chiefs, like as the NFL team, or Travis Kelce, the person, because why are you interviewing an ex? I'm talking about, she's not even the recent ex. And you doing an interview with her, and I'm gonna hold on for a sec. Let me search up that interview. That was funny, man. By the way, Travis Kelce's ex-girlfriend, the other, not the one in this interview, but Kayla, she fumbled the bag with Kelce. When she did that interview with Cam Newton, calling Cam Newton a little boy. When she reacted to Cam's interview, she fumbled the bag, calling Cam Newton a little boy. She not finna cook. I'm like, bruh. And by the way, why do they keep interviewing these exes, man? Oh, by the way, and also let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. Balotelli might be one of the greatest guys in the world, and I'm gonna tell you why. This was during 2012, after he left his wife pregnant, right, with his kid. He had already left her, and then they interviewed her during that time, and that's how they found out that Balotelli, through his ex at the time, who was his ex, she said that he donates half of his salary to charity. And this is after they had a nasty breakup. That's how you know he's a real ninja, bro. I'm just saying, man, I never heard anybody's ex talk glowingly about an athlete, let alone a Negro superstar. Sheesh, man. Oh, man, let's analyze this interview. Let's bring it up right here. Oh, man. This shit had me crying laughing though. 1.5 speed.
Maya says she's been getting death threats from Swifties who think she's trying to destroy the budding romance. How do Swifties react to you?
Oh, Lord. But yeah, Travis Kelce definitely upgraded. He definitely upgraded. And I was happy when he had dumped Kayla during that time, because that was a straggle. That was a straggle. That was a straggle. Yeah, I'm looking at, Kayla made herself look like a dumbass. Like all she had to do was just be quiet, but she could not do it. She just couldn't do it. Like I'm sitting there when Cam Newton had talked about Cam Newton was just expressing himself, and then when Kayla did that response on her video, calling Cam a little boy, oh, I ain't finna do this, I ain't finna do that, and I'm like, you with Travis right now? What is wrong with? I'm sitting there like, she shot herself in the foot right there. But let's go to this interview about Travis Kelce's ex-girlfriend. All right. And you see the title? NFL star Travis Kelce's ex-girlfriend says he's a narcissist. I mean, how many times are we going to hear these exes? These girls be having IG, right? With their whole profile is just them. It's just them. Face shots, selfie shots, their ass. But Travis Kelce is a narcissist. Or all their exes are narcissists. But their whole IG, they got OnlyFans, Instagram is just literally them. But their exes are narcissists. Clown world. Absolute clown world. Shout out to AJ. Let's listen to this.
Beauty, who says she was betrayed by Taylor Swift's new boyfriend, Travis Kelce.
Like the saying goes.
Oh yeah, that's another word that they like to use, betrayal. As soon as you talking to a girl and she's talking about betrayal, narcissist, gaslighter, what else? Abusive. As soon as you hear that, you're really supposed to run away. But we stick around just to see if there's a possibility of getting some ass, and then hit it and quit it. But that's gonna come back on you too.
Once a cheater, always a cheater.
Maya Benberry dated the Kansas City Chiefs tight end in 2016.
Certain qualities don't change in men. I feel like Travis is a narcissist. So
there's the word. Here we are. Here we go. Narcissist. And he was a cheater. Well, I'll say this. He's an NFL star. He's gonna have hoes. Tactical Insider, what's up, man? Yeah. I'm gonna go into my title real quick. The only problem is I just said the word and my stream was about to shut down for that. I was like, nope. I'm only gonna wait. I'm gonna wait until it cools down and then I'm gonna hit that. But I'm gonna go in on Travis Kelce's ex-girlfriend. Right. I'm gonna go in on her because clearly rent is due. And I just can't believe Inside Edition dropped this a reputable segment like this would make something like this. But this is the mainstream media that we're talking about. They were trying to convince me and many other normies that R. Kelly is this super villain, but yet we can't get certain flight log lists. Never mind. Let me go back on here.
Most narcissists don't change.
Their romance started when she was a contestant on the e-dating reality show Catching Kelce. Maya beat out 50 other women vying for Travis's heart. She says they dated for 8 months.
Travis Kelce like messing with ninjas. Well, straggles. Let's continue. And by the way, this is the funny thing about like Here's the thing. Here's the funny thing about black men and black women when they date outside their race. What ends up, I'm talking about black men and black women do this. They don't even realize they do this. This is what black men do when they start dating white girls. Or it'll be the ones that talk the most ish about their counterparts. And then they basically end up going out with the white version of that. So, for example, if a black man says, "Oh, I'm tired of dating black women," right? And then he dates a white girl. He doesn't date like a Kaylee, you know what I mean? Or like a really cookie cutter from Greenwich, Connecticut, blonde haired, skinny. They don't do that. They go for a white girl with tattoos, basically, or basically they get a pog. They get a thick white girl. I'll put in quotation marks. I'm like, you could have just gotten a thick black girl and got the same results. Now, with what black women do when they start dating certain white dudes and they say, "I'm tired of these ninjas," what black women do when they get into that position, they date a white dude that has like that shape up, you know what I'm saying? That he literally has a shape up like he's a ninja, right? And he talks like he got black male friends. He literally talks like his black male counterparts, right? Has kind of a Carson Wentz kind of shaved haircut look, and like a John B type of look. Or they go for the white guy that can do the Dougie, and he's like, "Oh my God, he's like one of us." This is what black people do. It's hilarious to me, man. Oh, let me see. Yeah, but but I believe black people. I think black men and black women do this. I can, like, when I see it, it'll be like a black dude going for a fat white chick, and then like conversely, the black woman is going for a white dude that can dance. it's like I be seeing it. I'll just be like, okay, and you're saying, or like say, like, for example, if a black man is deciding to, they basically date, like what black people do is basically date the white version or the Spanish version. Like, they'll say that I don't want to date a black girl, but then they'll date a Latina chick that is batshit crazy and cannot shut her mouth to save her life. And but even though she's great at what she do, but she is a straggle. She's just Latino. we like to date straggles. I'm talking about black men and black women. We like to date straggles. And what I want to see, I'm talking about from both parties, actual consistency, right? If you're gonna date outside your race, why don't you get, like, I don't understand why black dudes be dating fat white chicks. I do not get it. These girls are leftovers. Just straight leftovers. Bro, fat white chicks need to give black men like a statue, because if it wasn't for black men, fat white chicks would not be able to to be able to progress in society. Oh yeah, the white hood chicks. Yeah, that. But what happens is they'll date a fat white chick and be like, "Oh no, she's thick." And even if she's from the suburbs, she'll, like, you gotta see it like in firsthand. Like, because Ninjas is still smashing her, it'll be a regular dude that will go up to that fat white chick, right? And she'll just look at the regular dude like he ain't shit. But little does the regular dude know that fat white chick just went to Jamaica for a trip and had the time of her life, if you know what I mean. And then she coming back with an attitude. And you're like, why is she having that? Like, look at her. You know? But yeah, like ninjas don't have what you call it? Like they don't. We just be smashing anything, man, and that's just not good. That's just not good. Anyway, let's go back to her because I found it funny how like black women were they were crying that Travis broke up with Kayla and now it's with Taylor Swift. They were crying. I was like, oh yeah, and by the way, me personally, I don't care what race you date or who you date. I just hope that if you have a mental illness, whether it be man or woman, or if you are a person that is toxic for real, you should not be dating. That's how I go by. I don't even go by race. I literally look at this. Whatever woman that you're going to choose, you need to see if she has a mom and a dad. Number one. Number two, you need to see if her mom is a hoe. So that's very important because even if she has two parents in her life, if her mom is also a 304, that's going to be a problem. And conversely, what dudes, if a woman is looking for a dude, seriously, you need to be looking for a responsible person. But that's like me telling a woman that she's not going to even listen to that. So that's just. Let's see this comment. Yeah, it is a class thing. It is a class thing because like I know plenty of black dudes that be dating like cookie cutter Kayleys. I'll be like, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying because and then the black dudes they'll that's my thing part because they gas their head up and then they just come back to us regular dudes, black or white, and they just be looking at us with attitude. Little did you know she went to Pound Town with, I'm talking about, have you ever seen like those videos where those fat chicks are literally bragging about being tossed around by the football team? They're not lying about that. They're not lying about that. I've seen that firsthand, not the actual train, but I'm talking about badly shaped girl, and she had the time of her life. And she's basically like, nah, you regular ninjas cannot tell me anything. You know, so that's technically, it's not even their fault. That's the dude's fault. Anyway, let's go back to this video.
Before it all came crashing to an end. You thought you were going to marry him?
I did.
Were you in love with him?
I was. He met my parents. I had a key to his penthouse. To me, that means that you're pretty serious.
Did he cheat on you?
Yes.
The 31-year-old life coach says
No. When she mentions the cheating, she knew that before the breakup. She's just mad at the time. When somebody moves on, it's just he just couldn't trust you with his future. You know what I mean? You know, and like I say, women can't take L's. Like I always say this, you're not going to find a more homophobic person than a girl that you turn down for sex. Let me repeat this real quick. Let me repeat this. I'm going to wait till this full screen is on me. You're not going to find a more homophobic person than a girl that you turn down sex. Meaning, let me say that again. You're not going to find a more homophobic woman or person in general than a woman that you turn down sex to. Turn down sex from a woman. You're first of from a random. They're gonna start calling you homophobic. I've been through it, bro. It's not just me. It's not just me. This is why I always say, like, women don't even have respect for gay people, bro. They be having all these gay friends, bro. Talking about, I be trying to tell gay people, I'm like, you know, women don't even respect you. Respect y'all, right? Like, like they don't even. They be, and the women, they be always having all these gay friends, Snuggles, Fluffy, Smoothie, Jello, all these fruit booty names they be having. Oh, this is going on vacations with these people. I'll be like, but yeah, just you want to nobody more homophobic than a woman, especially American women. But they act like they're inclusive, but they're not. Anyway, let me go back to this. And I already know. Oh yeah, Pyro, so you Jamaican, so you already know. And I remember a Jamaican friend told me like how even like in Jamaica, like, you know, those alternative lifestyle people be getting chased out from the bridges. So I'll be like, oh shit, that's terrible. Anyway, let's go back.
About his indiscretions on social media. And now she says she's not sure if Kelsey's romance with Taylor Swift is for real.
The only reason that I question the genuineness of the relationship is because he's talking to the media a lot.
Maya says she's been getting death threats from Swifties who think she's trying to destroy the budding romance. How do Swifties react to you?
Swifties are aggressive, very negative, very hypocritical. It's really
blah, 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 blah. Cry me a river. Cry me a river. Cry me a river. Oh my God, the hating, man. The hate, and people say I'm a hater, but never call these people out for hate, for actual, like, she's what is the objective here? I know the rent is due, but she don't, like, does she have a product to sell? She don't even got a book coming out. She just came on to hate. Like, usually, like, at least when Superhead had came out with her stuff, she had a book, right? She came out with a book or something, a product. What she got going on? I better let me
crazy to me that someone that I think is, you know, positive and really nice has such a negative and angry fan base.
How do you feel about Taylor Swift?
I don't know Taylor Swift, but I'm a fan of her music. You know, I don't feel any way about her dating Travis. It's cute. I mean, I had him first, so.
The narrative is you're a bitter ex-girlfriend who's out.
Oh yeah, Tactical. I see your chat. Because there needs to be a discussion that we need to have this discussion really. In terms of when we talk about homophobia and homophobic and stuff, like, I don't know when are gay people gonna start calling out women for being very as homophobic as they are. They're never gonna do it. I don't know why. I don't know why this is. We need to have this discussion to where anytime anybody from the Manosphere has something to say, that we get called incel, we get called deadbeats, but what's it's interesting, we get called gay, and they use it as a diss. And at the same time, they be having gay friends, they be having transformer robots, all types of furry friends, all this stuff, but yet you use it as a diss to a man that doesn't agree with what you do. He said, you've noticed women have been getting lonelier and lonelier for a while now. I've noticed it in the barracks that none of the female soldiers get invited out. Oh yeah, you can blame, Tactical. I've said this. The Me Too movement, they don't even realize this, Tech, bro, Let me put the camera on me real quick. Let me talk about the Me Too movement for 1 minute. The Me Too movement, the damage it has done to the workforce, to school, to you said the military, every sports, everything. Look at the damage this KRS-2 looking girl. Yeah, we call her KRS-2 on the Corey Holcomb show. Look at the damage it has caused. When we talk about gender divide, look at the damage it has caused to the people that are actually trying to move up in the world. And what do they have to show for it? They only have to show for it the lockup of Bill Cosby and R. Kelly. That's all they really have to in terms of who did they get locked up? They have nothing to show for it. Harvey Weinstein is not really going to prison. You see how they kind of snuck guys like Weinstein. They don't go to General Pop. It's in his last name. They don't go, guys like Weinstein, hence the last name. They don't go to General Pop. So the people that they actually got in trouble was Bill Cosby and R. Kelly. That's all they have to show for it. And the destruction, like guys at work, same thing at work. They don't be inviting girls out. They don't do that. I have a lot of corporate friends, even in New York, very left leaning. They don't be inviting girls out. They don't. They just don't want the look at the damage it has caused. And what do they have to show for it? 2 ninjas locked up. You want? Congratulations, KRS-Two. You got 2 niggas locked up. Kamala Harris called. She said that was light work. Let's go back to the video. Oh, man. Fag hacks. Yo. It's just nobody want to be around him. Yeah, and Corey Holcomb said on his show, there's going to be a point, and I think we are at this point now, where basically what the average guy is just trying to do, they're not even trying to get to know women anymore. They just want to just get the sex from them and just get out as soon and as far away as possible, because they're really American dudes are literally looking at the risk assessment, and they're just like, it's not worth it. It's just not worth it. Exactly. Like I understand what you say, bro. Like, not, but the business that I'm in, I'm dealing with them all the time. But even then, I don't like me. I don't because especially when you're playing at a club, drunk women a lot. I stay far the hell away from them. Like oh man, one of the shows that I was with 3 weeks ago at a well-known pub in Connecticut, and this girl was wilding out. She was trying to get at one of the guitar players who's married already. She's wilding out in the front. And then the guitar player's like, hey, you can have her. I was like, They had the bartender girl had to escort her out. Because now I don't, maybe in the past, but she was a layup. She was a layup anybody could have taken her. Any one of us on stage could have taken her. Cause she was grabbing on me too during a break, and I was just like trying to get, because I know that's a walking case. I'm looking at her like 5 years ago or 6 years ago. You're looking at her, oh, this is a layup. But knowing what I know now, I'm like, we're all looking at her like this is a walking case. We wanted nothing to do with that girl. We wanted nothing to do with that. Let me see. Hello, the chat. I know you feel my pain. Let's go back. Let's play this.
For her 15 minutes of fame. How do you feel about that?
I'm offended because 5 years ago when I said the allegations about cheating and when I talked about that we were together for 8 months, his camp and team and even himself, he didn't say anything about it. I do feel a way because I did like you. I feel like I fell in love with you. It's nothing about Taylor. It's more about you led me to believe that we had a future. And now 5 years later, you're laughing and I feel like you're mocking me. I'm not jealous or bitter about Taylor.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. I'm going to continue playing it. I got to see if she has some book to sell or something.
She's beautiful. She's successful. We're in 2 different lanes. My issue is more with Travis in the sense of now you're trying to turn me into, I don't know, a bitter person or a liar, like I'm delusional, and I'm the furthest thing from that.
Well, we reached out to Travis Kelce for
so this bitch don't even got a book. She don't even got an OnlyFans to sell or something. She just came on to hate. Mike is a bouncer, be swinging. Oh no, I'm not a bouncer. I'm not a bouncer. But I do frequent clubs. I do work at the clubs. Dude, it's in my profile. It's in my profile what I do. It's all you can check on my Instagram. I'm not gonna tell you the artists I've worked with. I'm not gonna do that. I ain't trying to ruin those collabs. I ain't trying to ruin my check. But it don't even matter what. Okay, this is the life of a musician. It don't matter who you work with. You still got to take the gigs. You still got to take the $200 gig, the $300 gig, the $400 private gig. You still got to take the ones that you can get, because even if you go on tour, that's just one tour. It don't ever stop. Right? The bouncers are very like, okay, if you're giving the club free promo, right? If you're part of whatever they have running, the bouncers are going to treat you like, not like a king, but they're going to treat you perfectly. You know what I mean? So I've been on both sides of it, trying to get into a club, and then the bouncer's like, who the F is this dude? And then you'd be like, oh no, I'm playing with, come in. Yeah, you need help with your stuff? Be like, wow, but it's part of their job. There's no way I could be a bouncer, though. There's no way I could be a bouncer. But some of those bouncers are hilarious. And by the way, there's no money in like doing music in New York. No money. You better know, like in New York, if you're doing music in New York, you better know like somebody. Now, I do know a couple of somebodies in New York City, but it's not, if you're starting out, New York is not, it's not the spot. It's not the spot. The click culture. Oh yeah. Also, I seen something. Yeah, tactical. I saw that. So basically, like women now, women really never really had real friends to begin with, but now what women do is they basically gather people that would look good for them on Instagram. Meaning everything, they basically try to pick a girl that's their friend, somebody that's going to look good aesthetically next to them, right? Or it's either that, or they put themselves in a position where they're the prettiest girl in a group of ogres. It's either one of the two. One of the two. It's very toxic. Somebody made the analogy, basically, girls be trying to stack the deck. They'll be like all pretty girls and like sharing one apartment in LA, trying to take glamour shots, trying to move themselves up in the game, messing with a small group of men, rich men that can give them money so they can move up in the game. It's like, there's no way you can meet a girl at the club and say, this is it. Not, especially not today. Absolutely not. But yeah, let's get into, I can't believe this though. She doesn't even have a product. She doesn't have a book. She don't got a documentary coming out. She went out of her way to hate. Yeah, the cardboard cutout party group. You got girls literally. This is another, somebody put me on game on this, right? So some of these celebrities, right? What they would do, because I know a couple ghostwriters for some of these people. What they do, they'll go to the club and they will, the famous person, right? Whoever has the most clout will basically hire a woman just to be around them, right? Basically, they are paid to be furniture at a club. Beautiful looking furniture. That's what they are paid to be. And they take pride in that. That's what they do. This cardboard cutout party group. Oh man. It's hard though. It's hard, like, especially doing this stuff. Oh, Pyro, I see. What instrument you play, Pyro? Because I remember first going into the industry, I'm like, okay, let me be a DJ. But I was like, nah, let me just go back to what I know. And it's keyboard. So I know that. Let me just hustle that. And it's got me far. And I got lucky. You know, when you know a couple, especially when you start knowing a couple ghostwriters, you start understanding how that works, how you understand how the ghostwriters really are the ones that make a lot of money. You FL Studio. Yeah. I used to produce a lot, but now I do that in small bunches. I use Logic because I know how to play multiple instruments. So it works better for me in that way. And, you know, I remember like recording with somebody. It makes you look better if you know how to do that. You get callbacks for studio sessions and whatnot. But FL Studios, people keep saying I got to use that, but I don't know. I'm more comfortable with Logic. That's all I've ever used. But people saying FL is the best. And then I know other people with a MacBook, they say, what's it called? Ableton. Yeah, Ableton. But the money is really in the actual music making and the ASCAP, like writing. Somebody I knew. Should I put her name out there? So somebody I knew, Grammy Award winning writer, right? You would never, like, what people don't understand with Grammy Award winning, there are a lot of Grammy nominated, not award winning. A lot of the people that get nominated for Grammys, they'll be having their Instagram, they'll be having like 500 followers, following 1,000. You would never know that they even reach heights like that. And that's what you find out. there's people that be ghostwriting. You will never know. You never know. So somebody I knew that used to do piano tutorials, but she ended up writing for somebody. She, in 2020, they did a magazine cover for her, but basically they stalled her progress. I don't know why, but the people that she was writing for, they just wanted her to do that. They didn't want her to is a white girl. They didn't actually want her to like do her own thing. Like they had dropped the magazine for her and whatnot. I'm not gonna mention her name, only reason because she's like, if she found out I did content like this, like on the regular, like she's seen like some of my older videos on my Instagram. That's how we met up. She saw my old keyboard videos. So she still follows that same Instagram account, you know, but I don't know. But anyway, let's go back to, let me see. It's certain. He's like, I can get guys to get good with girls by having these hot chicks. Yeah. How you get, well, to get that, you just have to fake the clout. You got to act like, because I have. Hold on for a second, guys. Anyway. Oh man, let's go back here, man. Anyway, back to my original point. It's due. Her rent is due. This time, I don't know what happened to my laptop this time. I think it just froze out just because I didn't touch it. But when we talk, let's go, since we have enough people in the chat. Let's go to the main topic. Let's go to the main topic. I already dropped a video about this today. You can watch it. It's under my video tab. But when you saw maybe I got to come up with different names for these guys. when you saw Matt W do his video attacking the Manosphere and RP content creators, I was trying to tell people for years, well, a couple years now, tradcons are not your friend. They're just not your friend. What they want you to do is go back on the plantation. Now, on the plantation, all right, awaits girls like you saw, right? There's a lot of guys who end up marrying these chicks and they just wonder why. What happened to them? They've already been chatted out. They've been Tyroned out. They've been Jose'd and Hectored out in college, right? And they end up settling and they're just like, oh my God, this is like, you could have saved them, not only saved them, upgraded their life, right? Financially, all of that. But they went through all that stuff in their 20s because the advice that they got from their mothers and their grandmothers is to just date non-exclusively. That's the advice that those people just blame Gen Z girls and Gen Alpha girls. Why are they such 304s is because the women before them told them just date non-exclusively. This is why you have to check out who their mother really is. Stop believing all that stuff from the past about, oh, all men were abusive and was hitting women upside the head and women. It wasn't. I'm not saying it wasn't like that, but just as there were shitty men in the past, there were also shitty women. It's equal. It's equal. Trust me. You know, it wasn't just dudes doing dirt. It wasn't just dudes that had, you know, one family here and a family across town. There were also women, because there was no paternity test back then, that was getting knocked up and then realized that they was knocked up and then found somebody real quick and tricked that man into raising somebody else's kid. There were women out there that were falsely accusing men of certain things and getting them beat up. Look at Emmett Till, right? There was treachery going on with everybody. Black, white, man, woman, all of that. No, everybody's dirty. Right? What they want you to believe. So now, fast forward to now. You have these 30-year-olds now, right? Okay, I'm going to settle down when I'm 30. But by then, they've been damaged beyond repair. At least the girls in the 90s, they would be like, okay, I cannot be on a carousel for 10 plus years. Let me get married in my early 20s at least, or my mid 20s at least by 25, 26. They'll still be a 304 in college, but at least they'll come out of college and be like, okay, let me look for somebody. The 304s now are basically like, I still got until 40 and I'm going to freeze my eggs at 30 something. And now, and like I said, in that group, that cohort of women, those crazy effinists that you see now, blue hair, all that, they're going to turn into conservatives. This is the problem. All of those libtards are going, ladies that you see, they're going to turn into conservatives. They're going to women are not going to take L's. They're going to change it to whatever they need to do to survive. People just think that it's just going to be liberal women going to be out on their knees, be like, I'm sorry. Please forgive me for what I've said. They're not going to do that. They're just going to turn to conservative. Look at Eliza Blue. They're just going to turn conservative and catch a simp if they can. Please subtract the septum. Oh man. The stream should be back. The stream should be back by now. I know what you're talking about. The stream should be back. The stream should be back. Lorette said talk about Ebony K. Well, Ebony K. Williams, she's gonna. Okay, this is the thing about the trad cons. The trad cons are now basically now like Ebony has changed her ways. Nope, 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 nope. She's not gonna like. She's like I said, her way is not working. So now she's trying to turn the page, but it's too late. She's in her 40s. It's too late for her. What she's looking for, because I'm pretty sure there's a guy out there that would still want her, but it's not going to be the guy that she wants or nearly close to attracted to. That's why at least the marriages from the past kind of worked out, because at least if you got married to a guy, say during college, or sorry, during like right or straight out of high school, it'd be to a guy that they are somewhat attracted to, somewhat. So now these ladies now are coming out in their 30s and just finding a simp who they have no respect for at all. And the simp is going to marry them. And then the simp is going to wonder, like, why is this thing not working out? Why is she not giving me sex? Why is she just terrible? Why is she a mental health case? Because she's done mentally. They'll be like, oh, man, I thought she was a traditional. What? First of all, I'll say this. And this is another thing that trad men don't even want to acknowledge about their supposedly trad wives. I don't even really think there's such a thing as a traditional woman in America. You cannot, I'm talking to you, Brett Cooper. You cannot be talking about you're 23, single, you a traditional female. No. We ain't doing that here. We are not doing that here. How are you 22, white, female in America, and you want married, and you're unmarried, and then you're a supposed traditional conservative with no husband? Nah. We ain't doing that here. Because right now, what women like Brett, Riley Gaines, these people, what they're looking for does not exist. The men that they're looking for does not exist. It just doesn't exist. They're looking for something unrealistic. And I like to call out Brett because I do not understand this obsession with this lady. From what I've researched about her, I think she used to be a former child actress. That didn't work out for her. But I don't know. People keep saying that she's like so pretty and whatnot. And I'm not trying to be a hater, even though I kind of am. But she literally looks like Ben. And you know who I'm talking about when I say Ben. She kind of looks like Ben in drag. When I see her, she literally looks like Ben S. I don't want to say his last name because that got my stream shut down last time. She looks like Ben S. in drag. And, you know, her fan base is these dudes. Like, these guys are the biggest imps, like, in the world. I don't understand how you could follow somebody like that. But like I said, it's expected, you know. The traditional, the trad cons are just as big of simps as the left, men on the left side. Like Destiny, just like Zestiny. I got to call him that. Zestiny. Guys like, what's that ninja that looked like Jesus Christ? He got long hair. He's a Twitch streamer himself. He's some white dude with some long hair. And to me, they're one and the same. Zestiny and Sneeko are literally the same people. And Sneeko's a former cuck. So they're literally the same. They're literally the same people to me. Yeah, man. The J dude. Yeah, that. Yeah, exactly. There's no such thing as a like so Yo, my thing is malfunctioning right now. Oh my God. So right now, yeah, my thing is malfunctioning. What? I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. So back to what I was saying. Yeah, that was weird. Like I said, when I mention certain names, my stuff starts going off. So I'm back on. Let me see. I'm back on. Let me see. But like, like I said, there are certain people on the right or on the left, I can't mention their names or my stream just goes crazy. So I don't. This, like I said, this is a risky stream. This is a risky stream. But man, what was I gonna say? Let me see. Yes, the trad cons want to increase the numbers available in the pool so that the impact of how destructive the women are will be less felt. The smaller the pool of men, the greater the impact. And also, this is another thing. You might have missed it. You might have missed it early because this was the first minute of the stream. Oh no! I said it in my video. That's what it was. So I have a follower on here. She's like probably my biggest supporter, and she brought up a point where basically women like Riley Gaines, right? Those traditional girls, right? That had the March for Women's Sports and whatnot. What they what they want, what they're doing is what they're she made a point. What they're doing is basically putting their dating profile out. It's a dating profile. So once they come out and say, I don't want transformers in women's sports, right? Once they say that, and then they're going on Fox News parading themselves as these so-called good girls. You should see the dresses that they be wearing on these shows. A nice long traditional dress. I'm like, oh. I was like, yo, they brilliant. They smart. They smart for doing that. They're trying to get a traditional conservative man with money to rescue them. Like I say, when they make moves like that, they're not looking for the average Joe. They're not looking for a decent dude, which really all they need. But to me, when they do stuff like that, let me see. And he showed Sneeko. He has the assault rifle. Now Sneeko's a clown. Like Sneeko's just gonna do anything what Top G does. I'm not gonna say Top G's name, but let me not get my stuff shut down again. But like Sneeko's just gonna do anything that Top G says. So I just kind of like Sneeko. Okay, with him, I'm not saying he doesn't have good intentions, but he's a person I hate when they bring up our stuff. They never bring up Hammerhand. They never bring up Undead. They never bring up Coach Greg Adams. They don't bring up even Myron Gaines. I'll give him his credit. Even Rolo. Who else? Better Bachelor, Aaron Clary, one of my favorites. They always bring up guys like Sneeko because he looks crazy. They know how to pick. It's almost like, how like, Transformers cross-dressers in disguise. Anyway, like how they like to choose, or they'll pick Just Pearly because Just Pearly, she just repeats the talking points, but she just repeats it. She doesn't even know how to back up those statistics. It's almost like how, like, how like back in the day when those white reporters were going those in the hood, and then they search for the most ignorant looking black person to make all of us look bad. Steve Harvey had a joke about this. They basically look for the most ignorant looking black dude, so it can make a news clip highlight reel. They're not gonna look for a black dude that has a nice lawn or a family structure. They look for the most ignorant looking dude just so they can make a highlight reel. That's what the mainstream does when they try to start picking apart our content. They're never gonna invite Hammerhand. They're never gonna invite any MGTOW creator, really, to be honest with you. But they're never gonna invite Coach Greg Adams. Are you kidding me? They're never gonna invite Undead Chronic, who I did a show with. With me and AJ, we did a show with Undead, but AJ showed out on that show too. I really hope people gave him his propers on that. But guys like that, who else? They're never, you think they're gonna invite, even like I said, even Myron Gaines, whether you like him or not. They always pick Sneeko. Sneeko's a whole weirdo. Yeah, TFM. There's no way. Thinking Ape. Like guys like that, they're not ready. They're not ready for that. I like Hammerhand. Hammerhand's that's my guy right there. He just be speaking facts. Undead is one of my favorite, even though like here's the thing with Undead. People just be like for example, Undead, he just has zero tolerance for grift. What he thinks is grift. So Undead doesn't like Coach Greg Adams. He don't like Trollo, even though he did a show with Trollo. I gotta say it like that just in case of the algorithm. He doesn't like Top G. He doesn't like what's his name? Myron. But I understand why. I completely understand why. But guys like that, because at the end of the day, what I would tell Undead is this. At the end of the day, and he knows that. What I would tell Undead is this. At the end of the day, I don't care who you're beefing with or who you don't have tolerance for. If you're in this space, they were calling Top G an incel, a short gay incel man. They were saying that about Top G. So that's what they look. That's what the normies. That's how they look at us. Incels. we're just all incels in their eyes. So that's why I always say, like, really, whether you disagree with a person or not. That's why I had to give Saint and Sinner and Rollo Tomasi their credit earlier today, because they were one of the few that was calling out Michaela P, Jordan P's daughter, right? One of the very few content creators that were calling them out, because let's be honest, most of the Manosphere were just hoping that they can get an interview with Jordan P, who I don't really have a lot of respect for, to be honest with you. Thugtician. How about, let me give you a name. Tactical, let me give you a name. Hopefully you remember this. Name. I'm going to give you a name real quick. You remember Chronicles of Judah? I don't know, Tactical. I don't know if you remember. Yo, Chronicles of Judah. I have to give him his applause. I don't know if his channel's still around. I remember looking at this dude's channel in like 2013 or 2014. This is like before I was even RP aware. I used to listen to his, I'd be like, what? No way. I got to give him his propers. He was right all along. I got to give him his propers, his respect. Because in 2013, I was in high school. I was a freshman. In high school. Yo, I got to give him his propers, man. Him, Tommy S. I don't want to say his name because he's blacklisted off social media too. Tommy, I got to give Tommy his propers, even as batshit crazy he can be sometimes. I got to give him his propers. He was right. He was right. Tommy, but Chronicles of Judah, I don't know. Yeah. Yo, the stuff, what he would talk, he wouldn't even just address that. He would talk about the industry in general, man. And maybe I shouldn't mention his name. I don't know where he went. I don't know if he still has a channel. I was like, the stuff that he was talking about, is going to go over, I would say 96% of people's heads. The stuff that Chronicles would talk about. Dude, I got to give him his propers. Oh man, Chronicles. Hey, I gotta give him his propers. Even Tommy. But anyway, what was that? Okay, the dating profile. There's still basically my point was the trad con women. Their dating expectations are just as delusional as the purple haired people, right? The purple haired women, right? So the purple haired woman, they're both feminists. That's why I love Undead, because he talks about that. They're all feminists. They're all of them. they all like to. And what's the thing is, cause look, let me tell you this. I've been on a date with a girl straight out of Sweden. We linked up because we both met each other at a soccer event, right? She's a soccer player herself. Oh no, Tommy came up with some funny the hair hatted hooligans. Before I get back on my story, let me talk. The first time I saw Tommy, right? Let me tell you this. I love telling this story. This was in 2012 when I first saw Tommy, and it was addressing a black teacher, black female teacher sleeping with. It was on World Star basically, right? That was the first time I saw him, and he was just talking. Hey man, let me tell you about these. I'm like, damn, like, is he all right? I was like, does he like black women? I'm like, is he all right? I never understood his angle until I grew up. I never understood his angle until I grew up, and I started seeing his stuff. I'm like, and here's another thing. Before I go back to the Swedish girl story, I like, who I also like. I like Tariq Nasheed. People might not like him overall, but what people don't understand, Tariq technically, he used to be one of those PUAs, the PUAs I don't have respect for though. But he he was technically on the same stuff too back in the day. What's up, Undead? I was just talking about you, bro. Literally just talking about you right now. I was literally talking about how it doesn't matter what you feel about Top G, Myron, as grifty. These guys are the biggest grifters, but it doesn't matter because they look at us. Everybody looks at us, all of us, as incels. Virgin incels. That's how they look at all of us. Oh yeah. Well, I'll say this about Tariq. Anybody that's against Undead, I think you know who you need to look up. There's this woman on YouTube called Cynthia G, and what she does is advocates for the abortion of all black male fetuses. If you think I'm lying, look it up. Yeah, I saw that Tariq Nasheed thing, but Tariq Nasheed, he used to be part of our space technically. Technically, he used to be part of our space, but he was on the PUA tip. Jakob granted me the power to break boxes. Undead, you stupid. You stupid. I'll say this. I think the reason why I brought up Tariq, though, in the first place, because him and Tommy Sotomayor be beefing. Yeah, Cynthia G, look, like I said, I've dealt with all types of evil people, but this stuff, Cynthia G, you know who put me on to Cynthia G? The comedian Corey Holcomb. I did not take her seriously until I really starting seeing her stuff. And even then, when I saw her stuff in 2018, I saw her stuff and I was just like, she's a whack job. Now, in my comment section, it'll be people in my comment section on Instagram, YouTube, right? And they're repeating her talking points like 4 or 5 years later. And I'm like, oh, shoot. I'm talking about there is a whole demographic of BWs, right? That are repeating her talking points, calling black men bullet bags and stuff like that. It's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Time out. Where did you get that from? I was like, I'm talking about hanging out with certain BWs, and they're saying things that I heard Cynthia G say 4 or 5 years ago. And I'm like, we have a problem on our hands. Yeah, Cynthia G, Sharon 07. These ladies are straight evil, bro. I was like, wow. I didn't know you guys hated us that bad, but damn. Like I said, I gotta give, like, that's why I don't want Tariq be ripping on Tommy, but Tommy Sotomayor was right all along. That's why I brought up Tariq Nasheed. That's why I brought up Tariq Nasheed. Really, Tariq and Tommy really should be working together. But like, Tariq, you're banging on the wrong people. Now, I'll say this: the biggest grifter in the Black conscious movement, he just got arrested. Brother Polite, Brother Polite. This dude is one of the biggest. Like, okay, in the Black community, we talk about how R. Kelly's a predator. No, these Umar Johnson. To a lesser extent, Tariq Nasheed, these people, because they just pander. But this is this guy on Twitter called Conscious Lee, this black dude. Who else? Yeah, Brother Polite, Umar Johnson. Just these guys are Brother Polite. These guys are the biggest predators in the Black community, bro. No cap, the biggest predators. These guys literally, all they do is pander to BWs. Tell them, bruh, it's like, it's mind boggling to me. And what's ironic is Brother Polite, like, I remember people were talking about how R. Kelly's this big predator, and Corey Holcomb had called out Brother Polite on the same segment he was talking about R. Kelly. It was an R. Kelly segment, and he called out Brother Polite for being a predator. And it's interesting, 4 years later, he gets caught with a 14-year-old and he's in prison. Can't make this stuff up. Cannot make this stuff up. He gets caught with a 14-year-old. This is what these conscious brothers be doing. I'll be always wondering, why are you guys doing all that pandering? And really, a lot of the time, when you see black men do this, and this is a theory of mine. When you start seeing black men doing all this conscious stuff, right? I think, and they're doing so much pandering to BWs. I'll say this: I think they done dirt to BWs in the past, like real dirt to BWs, and they're just trying to do that to, like. That's my opinion, because I don't understand how you're afraid to call out evil and wicked behavior, whether it's from black men or black women. Why are you just ripping on the average working dude, and we not and they're not doing anything, literally not doing anything, but you have a whole demographic here that are destroying the community, and their offspring is destroying the community, and you're not calling them out. But we're the problem, bruh. And then you're talking about how the government destroyed the black community. No, they gave the tools to the XXs so we can destroy ourselves. They gave us the tools. They gave black men the tools so we can destroy ourselves. They didn't do anything to us. We destroyed ourselves. Anyway, let's go back to these trad cons. Oh, shoot. The divestors have stolen racist culture. Facts. Undead, you're right. Man, back in the day, when I was a kid, I'm thinking I gotta worry about white men, right? Racist white cops, which I still do to a lesser extent. Basically, racist white men are the problem, right? Now in 2023, it's not that. I'm looking at these comments. I'm like, I'll be seeing some of these comments and I'll be like, bruh, I know like dudes that are actually racist for real, like in real life. They just don't even be around black people. They just don't bother them. They just stay away from them. Like the new face of racism is B-dubs, bro. I'll be like, bruh, what are y'all doing? What did we do? You know, like these, because what's happening is this. It's kind of a weird thing. Like these, like the B-dubs, they're going into college and then they're coming out full Marxists, if you know what I'm saying, Marxists. And like I said, like I did a Twitter panel. Undead is crazy, man. Undead trolling, but I know what you're trying to say, but they're coming into college and then they're just coming out full Marxists, right? And the Twitter panel, that's what I was gonna say. The Twitter panel that I joined, it was full of B-dubs, right? Let me tell you this story real quick. Jovi Penna, if you don't remember, that was the girl that was accusing Kai Cenat's friend of SAing her, right? Without her consent. And she was saying she don't remember what happened. She blacked out. And then it was weird. She was on that tip for like 2 days and then she just went quiet. And I was like, oh, what, did Kai Cenat's friends, did she get paid off? Then 2 months later, the sex tape drops out. Kai Cenat's friend drops the sex tape of him and Hovey P effing, and it was clear that she was fully awake. She was throwing it back at him. He was narrating his own sex tape and just like, she's clearly conscious. I have my hands behind my back. She's throwing it back. And in the Twitter comment section, the girls were calling out Jovi Penna for lying. They were like, yo, we went to bat for you and you was lying. Now, there was a couple girls in this thread, right? BWs, correct? And she said that even though the video evidence is right there, she still said that doesn't mean it was consensual. I'm like, don't you see the video? So she started, because on Twitter you can start like a conference, a video conference, or similar to Clubhouse, right? So I joined her thing. I was like, so I saw your comment. What? I'm like, you know, the girls are even ripping on you for saying this. And she had her own panel of delusional BWs, bro. And they have sons too. That's the scary part. All of them are single mothers with sons. It was a group of 3 or 4 of them. Well, I don't think all of them had sons, but it was like at least 2 or 3 of them are single mothers with sons. And I was like, the stuff that they were saying, and then they were saying, I'm part of the patriarchy. I'm this. I'm like, nigga, I'll be home. I was like, what? I was like, what are you talking about? And I think, you know what? I've been so disconnected from the real world because I be part of the entertainment. I be doing entertainment. I think I've just been so disconnected because people want my services for certain things that I don't really, I'm like, I never knew BWs was really looking at ninjas like that. Like, we're part of the patriarchy. We do this. We be SAing X's on the regular. I was like, I literally at the end, there was a male simp in the video conference call in the thing. I was like, oh my, this was the most delusional panel of people I ever been on. So you're never going to see me on like an app like Clubhouse or no, absolutely not. It was just me. And I'm like, and I was trying to tell the girls, I'm like, don't you see the video? The video's right there. It's right. They don't, that's the scary thing about XXs. It don't matter if you have video evidence. It's like, oh my God, these people are crazy. Let me look at this chat real quick. Oh, what's up, AJ? It's great. I was talking about Undead and AJ, and then y'all show up. I was talking about AJ earlier when you was on Undead's channel. Let me see. Yeah, they are going into college. Yeah, and tactical. Yeah, we talked about this in my last stream. We literally talk about this. It's just what the XXs are trying to do. Because I've said this before, they all want to be 304s, but they just don't want the consequences that come with it. So what they're trying to do is to get the next generation of men to be okay with that. Hence why they're always on that subject. How come men can fuck multiple women, but women can't mess with multiple men? That's how God made us, bro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know how else to explain it, but that's just how it is. Take it with God, not with me. All right. Anyway, or nature, Mother Nature, whatever you want to believe in. Okay. That's how males and females are created. If men fuck with multiple women, somebody comes out pregnant, he'll just take the DNA test and it'll be all right. And it's most likely his anyways. If a woman is messing with multiple men, indiscriminately, she gets pregnant, she's going to have to end up on Maury. That's how it works. I'm sorry. That's just how it works. So they're trying to get men to accept that. So eventually the top tier men accept 304s, right? Hence, where we talk about how the body positivity movement is a sham. Fat women could get, they could get married. They could find a husband. They just weren't getting the top tier dudes. So that's why they're trying to get the top tier dudes to accept their sloppiness. If you ever go on a body positivity, fat IG models page, you're always going to see her. She's going to have a Chad boyfriend. I'm talking about, if you go to Home Depot, go to one of these stores, bro. You'll see the most chubbiest chick and her boyfriend or her husband is a freaking Greek god looking type of dude. And you're just like, you'll never see a fat body positivity IG model chick with an average Joe most time. And if he is, he's like a complete simp. But I mean, like, you don't see them bragging on the dude, right? So this is what I meant to say. You're never gonna see a fat IG model chick with a fat guy. It's impossible. It's impossible. I've never seen one of these body positivity model chicks with a fat dude. I've never seen it. On all these fat 304s pages, I have never seen a fat IG model chick with a fat dude. Not one time. Not one time. I shit you not. I'm not lying. I put this on everything. So that's how you know that is a sham. That's a scam. Fat woman could find somebody. They just weren't getting the rich dudes. They weren't getting the best dudes. And what's interesting about the fat chicks, what's interesting is this is what happens. They let their Chad boyfriends cheat. Just to let all you ladies out there know, they let their Chad boyfriends cheat. They know about this. I met one of these IG model chicks, one of those chubby chicks. She has a Chad husband. I'm talking about, I don't know, should I put her name out there? If my cousin is on the stream, he knows exactly who I'm talking about. She went up to my cousin, right? And I met her too. Because I thought he was exaggerating. So I told this story on one of my streams. He met her and she went up to him because she said, in her words, she said, "You're the only black dude I know that wasn't trying to hit on me at the gym." So she basically told him everything about how, my husband, he be cheating cheating all the time. And I'm like, and it's not just her. Any IG family that you see that's doing like those family stories, oh, this is my husband, my wife on IG, they be cheating like motherfucker. Just to let you know. The chubby models, they be letting their Chad or Tyrone boyfriend they let them cheat. I only got 2 acres for grazing, can't afford a fat chick. That's fucked up. I'll say this. I'll say this, Undead. I put a stop to that too. Because what I would usually go for is thick Latina chicks, right? So they would be smaller than me, right? Even though I'm 5'7", I'll find a girl that's like 5'1", 5 feet tall, right? But even them, they were still giving me too much. As soon as I detect straggle, attitude, or anything like that, I was like, I would say the last overweight chick that I dealt with was this year in January. And that's when I made the biggest mistake of my life, which I will never do that again. Which I will never do. I will never do this again. It was this 40-year-old woman. I'm putting my stuff out there. It was a 40-year-old woman, traditional conservative, right? Like big MAGA MAGA lady, right? And I'm thinking it's gonna be easier because she's older, right? I've went out with plenty of, traditional conservative white girls in the past. Plenty. And, just nothing to brag home about. Sometimes they made it hard for me. Sometimes they made it easy for me. So I went with this girl because we met via my cousin, mutual acquaintance. So things didn't work out, right? I moved on. I thought she moved on. Little did I know, my cousin comes back to me. Oh, did you do this with her? Did you? I was like, what? I showed him my text messages. She said something crazy about how I'm emotional. I do this. I'm controlling the same archetype. Basically, I'm an abusive guy. And I'm like, what? I said we went out on like one movie date, and when we were supposed to meet up again, she bailed 2 times, and I was like, maybe we shouldn't do this anymore. I picked up the time, the spot, location. She was acting like I said, it doesn't matter the age of the woman. After that day, I was like, it doesn't matter the age of the woman. You're still going to be dealing with these games. And like I said, all the girls that I've dealt with, 18 to 23, right? Really, it hasn't been that bad. You know what I mean? You're still going to deal with the childishness because they're college chicks. They have options, right? But the trouble that she put me in was nothing. Sorry. The trouble that she put me in, it made like the other girls look like saints. I was just like, I will never do that again. Because this is a 40-plus-year-old woman, right? I'm thinking she's going to be chill about the shit. She understands what this is. We're just casually screwing around. Nope. I will never do that again. Never do that again. And even after that, I was just like, well, what did Undead say? Fat chicks mean you got to replace your driveway 3 times a year. Oh, I'll say this. I had a girl recently, 6 feet plus tall. She wasn't fat, but she's tall. I ended up breaking she wasn't fat, mind you. She wasn't fat. I ended up so when I was in my car, I had to literally push because I have a regular sedan. I had you got to push the chair all the way down. It broke. My chair broke, bro. Like I had to manually fix it so it can move back. I was literally driving back home. She's like, oh man, I feel so bad. I was literally driving back home like this. Yo, I shit you not. I was literally driving home like, I don't. Well, the last time we met was at her house, but I said we can't. I just said my car can't do this again, and she's not fat. She's not fat. She's a tall Dutch chick, right? Oh, speaking of, let me talk about the Swedish girl that I met via soccer. So here's the thing that I like about the Swedish, you know, the like women from the Nordic regions, right? The those feminists, they actually don't mind paying your bill, right? Doing 50-50 or just doing their part. They actually believe in equality, like actual equality. Like they actually will put their money where their mouth is. That's the point I was trying to bring when I brought her up, because she was a full effeminist, right? But you know, it is what it is. But she didn't look down on me because she was taller than me, right? She didn't do this and that. Like you like it was refreshing, mind you. So, and I'm talking about she looked better than most of the chicks that were giving me problem. Like say like the average chick that would just look down on the average person. She didn't do that. So I was like, and it was like, this was just short term. You know, we parted amicably. You know, it was never gonna be something. We live in different states, right? She just came over from, you know what I mean? We met doing co-ed soccer, right? That's how we met. So it's interesting. It was so refreshing. And she was a full on effeminist. And she treated me way better than like everybody else. I was like, how in the hell? I'm going to give you my metrics real quick. 5'7", barely 150. Now, I'm a lot fitter in person. I'm a lot more athletic in person, right? I've always been athletic. I've always had muscles. I've always had, you know, anybody that saw my last live stream, they know I got muscles. But I got 6-pack and everything, right? Chest, strong legs, all that. I'm an athlete, you know, but still, in person, I don't really look like much in terms of once I put my baggy jacket, just an average normal person, right? How is it that I'm having a better chance with a Swedish girl who I would consider a 7.5 or an 8? She doesn't wear mind you, she doesn't wear makeup. She was not bad looking. She was like at least, maybe at most, I know if she put makeup on, she's gonna be an 8 or 9. I don't understand how somebody like me can have a great chance with her, and you'll have this fat bitch from Bridgeport, Connecticut, right, will treat you like shit, treat you like dog shit. And mind you, she'll probably live in a ghetto talking about my man needs to do this. What? I was like, oh, hell nah. I can't do this no more. I can't. Look, man. Undead is Undead, you don't believe my metrics? Yeah, I'm legit 5'7", bro. Legit 5'7". Undead said I'm 4'2", 420. I'm legit 5'7", 150. People be shocked. Like, it'll be like, okay, so for example, like when I played soccer, I would, because with the cleats on, nobody can really lie about their height or their, it's pretty even with the cleats on. So I guess people thought I was 6 feet tall or some weird shit, right? Like I remember in high school, people thought I was way bigger. I'm like, no, dude, I'm like, I came into high school 5'5". So people thought I was a lot bigger than I really was. They thought like they literally thought I was way big. I don't know, maybe it's because of the cleats on, or maybe like I got like, I'm not trying to brag on myself, but I got this LeBron James thing. You know how LeBron James looks a lot skinnier than he does? Like he looks a lot skinnier off the court than he does on the court. I got that same thing. I got the same thing. So as soon as I put on my shit, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it fits me or something. They think I'm like 5'10" or 5'11" at like on a soccer pitch. But then they'll see me in real life. You're like, bro, what happened to you? You dying, nigga? Like, they'd be like, bro, what happened? They don't like. They'll look like, wow, you're actually a lot skinnier. Like I've had men and women come to like, yeah, you're a lot skinnier than I saw you as. Like I remember. Okay, I'll give you a perfect example. When in middle school. So in middle school, I was pretty big for my age, but not really in terms of compared to my Caucasian counterparts. They were all tall. So I would be the shortest person, but still, I remember going on a soccer field and I was in 8th grade. Yeah, I was in 8th grade and there was a girl that was in 5th grade that was watching us. It was because the club that I was in, they had girls, they had boys, and they were watching us during the tournament. And I trucked somebody, basically. I trucked somebody off a corner kick, and doing my dribbling, doing all that stuff. She was like, I remember one of the girls, they were talking. They're like, God, this dude is big, but I wasn't. Like compared to I wasn't. And so then once like I think it was like I don't know if it was the last game, but when we were all under the tent, everybody had like, their sandals on. It was just all chilling. And me, I was just I was done. I was done. I didn't eat anything. I was so tired. The girl, she was my height. She was in 5th. She came up to me to just to, I guess, congratulate me, whatever, on the goal. She was my height. And she was just like, oh. She was like, oh. I'm like, I don't know. I got that LeBron James effect. I'm a lot skinnier off the pitch than I am on the pitch. That's literally what I like. And then once you meet, you realize I'm not a big person at all. I'm not. Let me see. Bridgeport. Yeah, I used to live in Bridgeport. I'll say this. Bridgeport is turning, I think what they're trying to do now with Bridgeport, Connecticut, they're turning it into a college town. Just to let you know. As soon as I saw that Starbucks being put on, anybody that knows where Main Street is, where the Stop and Shop on Main Street is in Bridgeport. Once I saw them put that Starbucks over there, and they've been doing a lot of renovations there too, I said, it's been one, bro. They're trying to turn it into a college town. I think they're trying to, Sacred Heart University, they're slowly expanding their thing. And then you already have University of Bridgeport on near Seaside Park, so they already got that part covered. They're trying to get the north end covered with Sacred Heart. And they're trying to make, because the north end is always supposed to be the safest part of Bridgeport. They're trying to make whole Bridgeport North End, if that makes sense. On my, you see what green skin you have, golf girls. But oh my, undead, what green skin you have. Yeah, it's weird. Like I'll say this, undead. If I have a choice, can I be a turtle, or is that taken? Nah. Is that what other green skins that we can take? I'll take the toad. I'll take Toad or the tortoise. I'll take that. I'll be Franklin. I'm already Franklin in real life. I might as well go all the way. Now, Bridgeport, well, okay, this he said, Undead said, F them Bridgeport triggers. Iguanas. Let me be Franklin. Let me be Franklin. Salamanders. Birds of paradise. Fish. Let me be a toad. Let me be a toad. Let me be a fucking toad. Anyway, man. But basically, to summarize, because I don't want to go over the 2 hour mark like I did. So I'm at the 1 hour 40 mark. So I got 20 minutes left. Okay, that's good. I don't want to. I did 4 hours last time. I don't know what I was thinking. Pyro, you a real soldier for sticking through that. That was crazy. Lot lizards? Oh no! We're not talking about lot lizards. We were just talking about animals with green skin. If I were to join Undead Squad, what animal would I would choose that has green skin? I don't know, because that's not my expertise. By the way, I loved how Undead broke down, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, Undead is a scientist in his day job, but he basically broke down just to give people a heads up, like, you know, why girls go through puberty early if the father's not there, and hence why in like poor communities where there's no fathers, you see overdeveloped women. Like, just a whole segment of overdeveloped women at a young age. So by the time they already 18, it's been one. He broke that. I forgot which episode that was, and and he had like two people on with him, and only one of the dudes got it. But that was interesting. That was just a reminder of why things the way they are. It's very simple, but yeah. Let me be a toad. Let me be a toad. Let me be a toad. But I said also, let me be Franklin. Let me be Franklin. Oh man, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. Nobody's ever called me Franklin, by the way. That's just I came up with that. That's not like the stuff I remember. Like when I was a kid, people used to call me some crazy stuff. I'm talking about like really crazy stuff. Like I had to develop that tough skin early. Like, so for example, like there is nothing like shit. Like when we talk about the trad cons, like I remember talking to a trad con woman. She's all up in my comment section, my IG, want to message me and all that stuff. Why are you telling man not to make fun? You're an incel. I was like, okay, you're this. Dude, I'm like, bro, like shaming language is not finna work on me. Shaming language, you're gonna have to hold like one of my family's family members hostage for me to stop doing what I'm doing. Like calling me a virgin, incel. Oh yeah, they'll talk about your mom too. They'd be like, did your mom love you? Did your dad love you? And I'll just simply say, I don't want to talk about who's in my family. People be doing witchcraft. I don't want people knowing what my family dynamics like. Look, just assume the worst. I'll let you have it. I'm talking to the men here. Like shaming language is not going to work on me. Yeah. Like when Undead mentioned that, I was like, yeah. So, and that's why when we talk about, especially when it comes to the demographics, like black girls get started early, a lot early than people want to admit. It's very uncomfortable. You know what I always say, like when I'm addressing all women, I always try to say 13 because that's what I usually hear. I always hear 13. I'll say this: when I was in college, I predominantly was fornicating with black women, so I know most of them they were saying younger than 13. So hey, that's not my fight. That's not my fight. That's not my fight. And you know, coincidentally, all of them don't have fathers. I remember there was one girl in my Spanish class. freshman year. Very nice. Very well. Now she might have had a high body count too, but she has a mom, has a dad, right? And on top of that, she doesn't live in Straggleville, but she lived at a decent area. I never got a chance to go far with her. I never smashed, but I respect her because she was a decent person. And people could say, "Oh, the bar is in hell," but she's like one of the few ones. You know what I mean? Let me see. Yes, that is the reason why white chicks have flat asses. And on top of that, white bitches be jogging. You know what I mean? like that's another thing people don't understand. Like why do white women have flat butts and whatnot? And I'll say this: they're changing. And on top of that, they don't eat the same processed food that, the straggles would eat, right? White bitches be jogging. They be doing yoga and all this stuff, right? And on top of that, people will say that white girls are evolving, but it's more of they're wearing these, there's these BBL shorts that you can wear under your stuff that can, and on top of that, so when you see white girls that are a bit curvy, that's because they mess with ninjas too. That's a little cheat sheet for you. But yeah, that's part of why they have flat ass. I've never thought about it like that, but that makes sense. It's a great point. It's a great point because it's all biological. It's all biological. A lot of the stuff that we talk about, it's very simple, but we overcomplicate these things sometimes. Just a quick reality check. How come black women develop early? And we're just it's just the process. No, because the dad's not there. So biologically, that does something to him. It's that simple. You never think, you'd be like, oh yeah, it is that simple. Like, how about this? Let me bring up something too right here. They be jogging to get away from. Let me bring up another thing. They talk about why are black men not playing baseball anymore? And I was just recently, I did a performance with a band for Josh Gibson's grandson, right? One of his descendants. Yeah. So Josh Gibson was in Connecticut recently. I was on TV with my band up in Hartford. I don't think I'm in that band anymore though. I haven't gotten a call back, but we sat by. It was Josh Gibson's grandson, and he was talking about his granddad's legacy. It was some mayors in there, people from the political office in there. I was like, oh, I didn't know this was that big. I thought it was a little gig. It's a decent gig, private gig. So we did that. Josh Gibson's grandson was in there talking about this, how we got to get black men to do baseball again, right? And there was a black woman in there, right? Basically, she was a little bit too aggressive on the, they're keeping us out of this, they're keeping us out of that. And Josh, I can see it in his face. I don't want to put him on blast, but I can see it in his face. He's like, there's really a reason why there's no black people in this. And then he kind of he dropped the bomb. He was just like, well, black sons with a black dad and a black mom in the house, they don't just play one sport. So he literally broke down how like single mothers end up only putting their sons in either football or basketball, and then they end up just doing basketball so they don't get hurt. And they'll keep them in football if they're doing well. But that's the only two sports they know. But he broke down how black sons with a black dad and a black mom, right? They end up doing baseball as well as football. Look at Kyler Murray. Look at Russ. But anyway, Jameis Winston. Anyway, so these guys had two parents in the household. So when they had black dads, their black dads would end up putting them in baseball as well as football. That's why. And he said, now the single mother rate goes up. Less black men are playing baseball. And he said, do the math. And she stopped talking. She had nothing else to say in the whole conference. Man, Mr. Gibson, hats off to you. Because I saw it in his face. He had the answer. And he's just like, man, she just going to keep interrupting. They're keeping us out of this. They're keeping us out of that. And he had the answer the whole time. He's just like, he didn't want to be mean about it. And he wasn't. He kind of broke it down in a nice way, which shut her up for the rest of the thing. Oh, yeah. Also, the reason why black women don't jog is because of their hair. They're not trying to, especially if you're dealing with a black woman that wears a lot of weave, right? Or didn't let her hair naturally grow. A lot of times when you see, like, specifically if black women's hair is kind of messed up, is because their single mothers would mess up their hair by putting all types of bullshit in their hair at an early age. If you notice, Jay-Z's daughter, I don't know if it's Blue Ivy, right? And remember, I don't know if you guys remember when she was younger, people were always talking about her hair, or why are they letting her hair like that? And they didn't realize they're letting her hair naturally grow, just naturally. So when she's older, she can have options, so she's not wearing weave all the fucking time. But the normies could not understand. I was just like, they're going at a young girl for not having her edges right. They did the same thing to, man. Okay, with Simone, that's the problem with B-dubs sometimes. They don't look at the bigger picture. Simone Biles, right? She had her dream wedding, right, with her NFL boyfriend, and I liked the picture, so I even put it on my story. And I would think that they would celebrate black love, right? That was a nice example. Potential power couple, like they talk about. You know, they was just going off on this girl's hair the whole time. She don't got her edges right. They was doing the same to Gabby Douglas. Her edges are. I'm like, bruh, she's an athlete. She can take care of that shit later. But I'm sitting there like, bruh. I'm like, you guys didn't have nothing to say about Kayla Nicole's edges when she with Chelsea, when she's with Travis, the white player. Why are you going off on Simone right now? Like she had her wedding. You think people gonna be saying congratulations? Like I said, like today's B dubs are interesting, bro. They're interesting to say the least. They're going off on this girl's hair, Simone Biles' hair. Out of all the things they could talk about, they're talking about her hair. This is why when you see, there's a lot. That's the reason why obesity is big in our community. It's because of the hair. They don't want to mess up their hair. That's why they don't want to jog. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, the hair. Like, they don't realize they're damaging their hair by putting all this stuff at a young age. They're not. I guess they just don't want their kid to look crazy in a daycare, which you're not really supposed to be putting your kids in daycare in the first place. That's supposed to be a last resort. I always say this about daycare. Oh, actually, let me not put my family out there. I'll just say this. I'm a daycare kid. Terrible experience. You're literally in there with future criminals, future gangbangers. It's your kid is not supposed to be in daycare. I'm just saying, the results speak for itself. In my family, there are people, I'm not going to say whether cousins or whatever, they didn't go to daycare and they're sane people. That daycare shift, that's no, absolutely not. Like if I have a kid or if I have custody of a kid, right? Let me rephrase that. My kid will not be going to daycare. Absolute you know that like in daycare, they be hiring anybody. It's literally you don't need any qualifications to be a daycare worker. Absolutely, you could be a criminal and become a daycare worker. Really, they don't screen like that. Especially if you're a woman, they're not going to screen you like that. I know the ladies that work in daycare. They're not supposed to be daycare workers. Like, bro. Oh my God. So I got 5 minutes left. G-Man said BWs have more self-hate than any Jim Crow Southerner ever had. BW brings self-destruction so far it becomes an art form. Not even their own kids are safe. Exactly. Saw the Dominican baby who died due to drug OD in the yes, I saw that. I was just like, you see, like you putting these kids at these spots. Like these spots are not safe for kids, bro. They're just not. They're not. I'm just saying, like, if you look at the people, extended family and the family, the results speak for itself. Educational wise, everything. The results speak. I'm not saying I'm a failure in life, but compared to the people in my cohorts, I'm not gonna say who's specifically in my tribe. Let me put it like that. The ones that didn't go to daycare and they went to like a Montessori or they went to a program to where they were in a lottery and they were able to grow up with the kids in the confinements where they were able to grow up with those same kids all the way up to middle school, right? That's a situation where you want your kids in. And they've turned out to be not just like, they turn out to be great humans as well. Not just smart wise, just great people in general. Don't put your kids in daycare, bro. That shit. The only way you'll survive is if the daycare. Let me stop talking about it, because people are gonna be thinking I'm creepy if I say what I'm gonna say next. You know what, Evan? I'm gonna say it. You need to hope that the daycare workers. Now, you know, it's gonna sound creepy if I say it. Just don't. If you're an ugly baby going to daycare, you don't got a chance. That's all I'm gonna just say. I'm gonna just leave it at that. If there's something wrong with you and you put your kid wrong with your child, like mentally or physically, and you put them in daycare, good luck with that kid growing up. Yeah, they like. You see, Tactical Insider, I see what you say. You see, they're always talking about the same thing. And this is why I saw it in Josh Gibson's grandson. I think his name is Josh Gibson Jr. No, not Jr. I think the third, right? I could see it in his face. It's like it's just the same talking points. Like I still, sometimes I still, I play. Recently I did a charity event for a Juneteenth thing. I still do that from time to time because it's a great networking tool, actually. They be still doing the same poems, the same shit. Still I rise. Nobody want to hear that shit no more. Man, bruh. These motherfuckers, it's been 56 and we're still talking about and still I rise. Nobody want to hear that shit no more, man. It's 2023. Motherfuckers, they don't care about racism no more. Nobody, bruh. Even the racists don't even care about that shit. Like they don't even. I still be going to these events, bro. My chocolated sister, you can't resist it. These ninjas are still doing these. I swear to God, they're still doing these poems, bro. I'm not lying. I just recently went to one of these. We're still doing the same thing, man. the only good thing out of it is, it's a decent networking tool, right? But I did one for charity recently. I met up with Callie Rose. You know what I'm saying? She be doing work in LA. She be putting in work. I probably shouldn't have mentioned her name like that, but it is what it is. She knows most of the people that I play with. She literally knows all of the people that I play with on a regular on a monthly basis. But these we still be doing that. It's cool. She came because she was a friend of one of the people that did the promotion in Bridgeport. But it's just like, we still doing the same. We still singing "We Shall Over." Still, they're like, it'll be these banquets. They still be doing "We Shall Overcome." They still be singing that shit. This is the one of the worst songs in history, nigga. It's one of the worst songs in history, man. I can't do this no more. I just can't do this no more. Free at last. They still be doing. They're still singing "Lift Every Voice" and at that event. They're still doing that. And the Juneteenth Stevie Wonder tribute I just did, still doing that. I'm talking about men that I respect, bro. It's men that I respect. On the music tip, on the networking tip, on the black. I'm talking about black men I respect the hell out of. Who be doing work. Even in the community, really. Still doing that same shit, man. Bruh. It's like, oh my God. It's like, we laugh about it, but it's really sad. It's sad as hell. I swear to God, if I have to hear "and still I rise," if I have to hear that shit one more time, I'm literally gonna leave the room. I'm like, I hope, like, when Callie Rose did her video, I was in the back. I didn't even know she had video on me like that. I was like, oh shit, I got caught. He's like, hey, what you doing at a Black Power event, Ninja? I heard what you said on YouTube. They caught me in 4K slacking, bobbing with my ninjas to Callie Rose and her singing one of her songs. I am not finna be going to these spots no more. Even if they're asking me to play, I'm not finna do it no more. I'm not gonna do this no more. Because it's like, oh man. Like, yeah, you say, wow, that's a perfect way to say it. You said, Tactical Insider says this, I say it on other channels, the black community is stuck in intellectual amber. Like, mentally and culturally, we are stuck in the 1960s civil rights struggle or something. Exactly. Like, I'll even say this, like, I know men in my life that I respect, young college men that are, presidents of black student unions. I don't fault them for doing that, but it's like, I'll even say this, because even before I was RP aware, I would encourage, like, dudes my age when I was in high school. I said, that'd be cool, if you were, because it was a kid I knew. I'm not going to say how I know him. It was a kid I knew. I was like, bro, you're going to be a mayor or something, because you have the reach of the people. People listen to you. It was a young kid. I was 16 or 17. The kid was 4 years younger than me. I was like, yo, you're going to be on some, you're definitely going to be in somebody's office or something, like a president or something. And he ends up being a black student union president, right? But he's RP aware. I know him. He's RP aware as well. So it's a struggle with him. It's a struggle. It's a struggle with him. But I saw it in that kid before most, right? And it's a struggle, because he says the same thing as they be stupid. The same thing, the same talking points. I just went, they celebrated him, whatever, gave him an award. Same talking points. You know, man, when we going into a room, you know, we a threat. No. Only threat of a lawsuit if they say one bad thing about you. That's the only threat. Nigga, it's 2023, bro. It's 2023. I always say this, like, racism is just the highest in 2023. If you're seeing somebody being racist towards you, it's just the highest form of player hating. And they're not going to say it out loud, or you can just videotape them and all you got to do now, you just put your phone out. Can you say that for me one more time? Lawsuit. So ninjas is not going to be just racist towards you in 2023. Stop. Anyway. Oh yeah, people look at me as a threat. Man, stop, man. Stop. Stop. Mind you, I've seen like actual like racist people like I live in Connecticut, you know, so like I understand, trust me, but the stuff that people be complaining about is like, and still I rise. I swear, if I hear that one more time, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm talking about it's men in their upper 50s. That I'm talking about men I respect. Still on that tip, talk about Barry O. That's what we call him on this channel. Talking about how Barry O was done wrong. They don't even realize Barry O is the enemy, bro. He's the enemy. The legislation that he allowed that was passed under his watch, bruh. I'm talking about and I'm literally like more than half, like in my mid-20s. These guys are in their upper 50s, still on that same bull jive, bro. Anyway, to sum it up, because I am at the 2-hour mark. Just to sum it up, I dropped this video. I already dropped the video on my earlier today about the TradCons. Right? Just keep in mind, there's really no such thing as a TradCon woman. Not in America. Right? So keep that in mind. So when you see the TradCon dudes pushing you to go back to work, pushing you to go, I snuck that in there, pushing you basically to just be a work mule. Why? Because really the actuality of this, I don't know if that's a word. I'm sounding like 50 Cent right now. The actuality of that is they're realizing, basically, you know, because like the country's in some point, the country's not going to be taking care of old people anymore. So no, there's going to be no pensions in the future, none of that in the future. So they need people they need the simp economy to keep going, because it really helps their pockets. And what people got to understand, when you see these TradCons coming out in full force, talking about where's this country heading, their corporate friends, their bigwig corporate friends that are also on their right side, they also was profiting off the destruction of this country as well. They were playing both sides. How many times have you were going to catch certain people in political power putting their money in stock markets, like they're literally investing, and it's like, man, they get another hit. They already know certain things are going to fail. They put their money in it, and then they'll just be like, oh my God, this country's failing, while they're putting money into destruction and benefiting off that, and then sending off people like Jordan P. or Ben S. or Brett Cooper or who else? Sneeko, these weirdos, guys like that. Matt Walsh, Steve Crowder, these guys, absolute clowns. And they're telling you to wife up women like Travis Kelce's ex-girlfriend. that we went over earlier today, these are the women that are going to be looking to wife up because, like I said, women don't want to be wifed up at their early 20s. They want to be a hoe. That's what they want to do. They want to spend their 20s being a hoe. And then once they hit 30, they know they can't do this forever. By 30, they're going to be so mentally, after being one night stands for celebrity after celebrity after celebrity, after musician after musician after musician, after athlete after athlete, they're going to be destroyed mentally. And these are the women that Matt and Steve, they want you to wife up. Because that's the only pickings that you got. Because watch this. Okay, you want a girl, say if you're a man, 26, 27, 28, it took you a while for you to build yourself up. And you want to have a wife, right? That's what you're picking from, because you can't pick from younger. If you're a 28-year-old and you get a 19-year-old, people are gonna call you all types of names. You know that, right? Look what's happening with Marcus Houston when he married the 19-year-old. People are calling him a cradle robber. So that's not even an option for you, because she's gonna be even shamed out of marrying you. So what do you have? The 26, 27-year-olds, 28-year-olds that have been on the carousel ever since they've been since they've been 13 years old, since they were 13 dating drug dealers twice their age, since they were 13 dating juniors in high school when they were in middle school. All of them, every dude at the high school I went to, every single Caucasian girl that I met were on some kind of head medication since freshman year in high school. Every single one that I met were on some kind of head medication. Over time, these are the women that they want you as a man to work your ass off and just take in like one of these stray cats in, right? After they done melded in. And then on top of that, they're not even going to be grateful for you doing that. They're still going to be, like Undead said on his channel, Chad. They're still going to be, Tyrone. And they're just going to look at you like you're not shit and just completely destroy your marriage, divorce rape you to kingdom come, take your kids. And we all know that is a huge possibility, since women initiate near 80% of divorces. If you're college educated, it's 90%. And you got guys like Matt Walsh is just telling you, just take the sacrifice. No. No. I'm just going to do what I'm doing right now. Okay? I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. Protect myself as much as I can. And if it comes down to it, if I have to get a wife, I'm going to move out of the States to do that. I'm not saying the women overseas are perfect. Trust me, I'm not going to move to Sweden like I was talking. I'm going to go to one of the South American countries, and I am going to find me a barefoot wife. One of those ladies, and then I will just start from there. I am not getting married in the States. And trust me, the ladies, the women, the so-called TradCon women, they were libtards in the past. They just understand, like Eliza Blue, that can't last. That's not a long-term lasting plan. So once they hit 26, 27, they hit that wall, especially if you're dealing with white women, they're going to hit that wall hard. They're going to be like, oh, I'm tired of dealing with toxic exes and whatnot. They're going to be lying about their exes being toxic and whatnot. They all say that. I need you to rescue me. And the reason why Matt, subconsciously, they know that guys like Matt, they know they made the wrong decision in marriage. Look at Steve Crowder. He was attacking the rep bill too. Look where he's at now. And the way his woman set him up in front of the camera, that's all of the ladies understand how that works. They mount evidence against you just in case if the shit goes left. All of them do that. That you know what I mean? Not just the liberals, conservative. They all do that. So before I go, let me look at some Yeah, I'll say this. In the 90s, it's kind of the 80s too, the community wasn't in that bad of shape. But, you know, the gangster rap, it did take its toll. The gangster rap did take its toll. Let me look at these last chats before I sign off. I might leave off on a video. I might leave it off on a video. Let me see. As times change and the cultural shifts, like cavemen come into contact with some comments, we label it racisms. It's because our culture is just plain primitive to mainstream culture. These are facts. Tactical, these are facts. They don't realize, like, the panel of ladies that I was with, they were talking about white privilege this, I'm like, I'm not saying, I believe every group of sectors have their privileges, but I think what those ladies confuse white privilege with is with family privilege, right? Trump, Orange Man doesn't, it's not white privilege with Orange Man. It's family privilege. He's had a whole lineage of people giving him money, like money being passed down from generation to generation. That's family privilege, right? Even when you see, like, for example, there's this criminal, right? Because it'll be white dudes that be doing criminal activity when they're in teenagers, but they get away with it. Why? Not because of white privilege. It's because their families are lawyers. They have connections, so they don't end up seeing the inside of a prison. That's not white privilege. That's called knowing people, right? That's called being bluish. That's called being bluish. If you catch my drift, you got certain connects where you don't see certain insides of like, there's this dude I know. He has my number. I hope he deleted my number because he's a criminal. This dude committed home invasion with a weapon. Never saw inside of a jail. Why? Because both his mom and dad are well-known lawyers. I was playing ball with him. This is when one of my cousins ended up knowing this dude. I'm like, and when I mentioned this guy's name, family members of mine were just like, "Oh yeah, we know this guy. This guy's a criminal. Son of lawyers. Both his mom and dad are attorneys." That's not white privilege. That's called family privilege. When you got certain connects, you can do shit. You think OJ, whether you think he did it or not, that's not white privilege. That's called money. In California, you got money, you can get away with murder. That's how it works. You know what I'm saying? In California, if you got paper, you can get away with murder. That's how it works. Oh man, let's look at these last couple chats real quick. But they don't understand. Like if you tell BW this, W's this, they don't get it. Because I've seen both sides. I understand how a cop talks to a poor black person, and then how cops talk to a rich white parent's kids. It's night and day. And it's not just race. It's money. Money, man. You got to have that paper. And you can't establish no wealth if there's no families. If there's nobody to pass the paper to. If nobody has family businesses to pass it down to. And what's the point of making a business in the hood if that place is going to get ransacked by ninjas because they didn't check in? Bruh. Oh yeah, Lorette, you bring up Melania. It don't matter. She don't like that. She don't like Orange Man, but it don't matter. He got that paper. That's how it works. Paper is America. Paper. Money talks. And you think she's tripping about Orange Man cheating or getting a rub tub on the side? Okay. Before I sign off, let me just go on Instagram just to see if I'm missing anything. I'm going to go on Instagram real quick. I'm not going to let you, you know what? Should I let you see my bookmarks? Yeah, I don't got nothing to hide. Well, my profile. Nah, never mind. Never mind. I do have something to hide. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. And by the way, for the people that was talking about, people are saying 34 is a high body count. And it is. But guys, these new Gen Z women are, guys, I know Gen Z women that can get 34 in a year. They're talking about Brittany Renner and those guys. First of all, Brittany Renner's lying about that. It's way more than 34. And like I say, women don't count every single body, right? So I explained that in my Ari Fletcher video earlier today. Let me see. I just got to make sure I'm not missing anything. Oh, right here. Right here. This video right here, because I dropped a video on this guy. I want you to see this real quick. I want you to see this. Before I sign off, I want you to see this.
Every day is backwards day in the West. Bad is good, wrong is right. It's no surprise that you think that a person should be called whatever pronoun they self-identify as, because that's what you've always believed. That's what you've always done. You self-identify as virtuous, as moral, as righteous, freedom-loving, tolerant people, even though you have never been that, and no one in the world sees you as that. But still you insist that that's what we call you. You insist that we deal with you as if that's what you are. You've always believed that the whole world should participate in your self-delusion. So of course you came up with this idea that a man should be called a woman and treated as a woman if he believes that that's what he is, or a woman a man. This isn't new with you. It's always been the way you believed. It's always been the way you functioned in the world, that you believed that you had the right to defy objective reality. Every day is backwards day in the West.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Church. But people don't understand. That was technically the beginning of my RP journey when it came to really looking at the world. I don't look at it as just woman, in my opinion, right? I believe women are the most important part. The reason why I say that is because you could be so well versed, you could be so well educated. If you don't understand the true nature of your opposite gender, you're going to get burned. Like I'm talking about, you're going to lose everything that you accumulated if you don't understand how this works. Imagine if Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, right, had to pick from the women of today. Their careers would have already been ruined because Martin Luther King was messing with hoes on the side. His girl would have exposed them, or one of the side chicks would have exposed them for clout. He would have never gotten to the heights where he got to. Or Malcolm X, he would have gotten a false accusation because he was one of the few civil rights leaders that was actually loyal to his woman. So he would have gotten a false accusation case on him. This is why the RP is so important, because it's just in general. But what he was saying about how the liberals self-identify as this, self-identify as that. Look, that's not just the liberal thing. Conservatives been doing that for ages. We talk about how we're the best country in the world. We're the best this. We have the best sports in the world, even though that's not true. This culture, what we have produced is just, everything is about aesthetic. Everything is about aesthetic. So nobody is genuine. It's like when you walk out your doors, you feel like somebody's about to rob you, whether it be physically or at the car dealership, or it's like you have to watch out for somebody trying to finesse you. And it's not just from homeless people. I'm talking about places that where this is a whole culture problem that we have here. And like at the end of the day, men lead, women follow. So whatever the men do, women are just going to copy and just try to say it's new. This is why this guy, Shahid Bulson, I did a video on him earlier on, something like that. But I wanted to leave you off on that video because what he said is so deep. This doesn't just attack the crazy effinists. People talking about how these new teachers are teachers have always been getting away with dirt. It's just obvious now because now these teachers are coming in with their pride flags, crazy to the month. These teachers always been unqualified. They keep talking about how teachers are underpaid. Teachers are not supposed to be a full-time job. What we need to do is have more male teachers, right? What we need to do is understand that public school is not supposed to be the last stop of your education. What we need to do is stop treating public school as babysitting, as free babysitting. That's on us. That's on us for putting certain things at certain lengths that we shouldn't have done in the first place. But thank you guys for everybody joining in. Lorette, Tactical Insider, Pyro, G-Man. G-Man said 35 is low for the average American female. That's what I'm trying to say. 35 is low for today's American woman. That's low. That's how sad it is right now. People don't like. I'm in the industry. 35 is low. 35 is low. If you want to find a woman with a low body count, they're gonna arrest you for pedophilia. You're gonna be dealing with a girl from high school. That it's sad that it's like that, but it is. Unless if you're willing to date a actual traditional woman, like meaning like if you're gonna actually find a traditional woman, right? If that's what you're looking for, you're gonna have to find an immigrant family. That's what you're gonna have to try to find, where they still have the mom and the dad in the house, and it's like there's some semblance of a structure. If that's what you're looking for, even though that's not, it's, and even then, that's once they get here, the culture, it's the culture is pervasive. It's such a pervasive culture, man. So man, shout out to G-Man, shout out to AJ, shout out to Undead for checking in. That's crazy. Like it still boggles my mind. Shout out to AJ for joining in. It's crazy how AJ was the first dude that gave me a shot. Straight up. I'm looking at Undead's older chats. It's crazy. Yeah, shout out to yo guys, man. Shout out to everybody. Pyro, thank you for checking in, man. It's been one. Watch my older videos today. I dropped 2 videos today on my video tab. Checking on that. Peace out on this. Thank God the stream didn't go too crazy. It didn't black out. Only blacked out a couple times. But thank